Hello there everyone, it's me Harry, and today is day 22. So, only a few more days to go now, as I've said before. And in this installment, we'll take a look at a few more video games from different publishers. And this time, we've got another threesome. And we're going to start off with games published by Take-Two Interactive. And we're starting off with 4x4 Evo 2. An Xbox launch title in the States, at least, I think. Developed by Thermal Reality, like with the original, and published by Gathering of Developers, which was one of the publishing labels at the time Take-Two Interactive used. So, here we are. They published the original game as well. So, here's the manual. And then here's the disc, and then there's also a registration card for Take-Two Interactive. There's that one done. Smuggler's Run Warzones. So this is a port of Smuggler's Run 2 for the GameCube, developed by Angel Studios and published by Rockstar Games. This is actually the only game from Rockstar I actually own. Mainly because I'm not a big fan of their titles because they're more, they're more mature. So I just prefer more simpler titles. So yeah, there's Warzones, and then the back of that just has the controls for the game. So here we are. Muppets Party Cruise. Developed by Mass Media and published by Global Star Software. So this was originally published by TDK Mediactive, but then their US division was bought out by Take-Two. And as such, this game was published under Global Star Software, one of their divisions, under Take-Two licensing, which is what the US division of TDK Mediactive become. So this is a party game. And it reuses the same engine that Shrek's Super Party and Pac-Man Fever use as well. The disc sort of reminds me of the SpongeBob movie DVD for some reason. And now after that, we're on to BAM Entertainment, an infamous shovelware publisher. And here is a launch title of theirs, Driven, based on the film of the same name. Developed by BAM Studios UK. And based on the Franchise Pictures film of the same name. Certainly not a great game. Like BAM Entertainment tried, but it's what you'd expect. Next up is Reign of Fire, based on the Spyglass film the same name. Very, very generic title, developed by Kuju Entertainment. And released on every platform known at the time. I actually got this copy brand new, funnily enough. I got it on Amazon about a year or two ago. Still doesn't make it a good game. Wallace and Gromit in Project Zoo. So this was, if you don't count that PC CD-ROM, this was the very first video game that Aardman's Twosome debuted in. And it featured the return of Feathers McGraw. But unfortunately, this game isn't canon. So the events of the game aren't mentioned in Vengeance Most Foul. Although it could be debated that this takes place after Vengeance Most Foul, but I doubt it because of the time difference. This was developed by Frontier Developments and distributed through Acclaim Entertainment, because that was when BAM started releasing their games through Acclaim. The Powerpuff Girls Relish Rampage Pickled Edition. An enhanced port of the Powerpuff Girls Relish Rampage for the PlayStation 2. This is a lot harder to find than the original game. It's a pretty bad game, actually. It's developed by Fizz Entertainment, the same company that did the other Powerpuff Girls video game, Chemical Extraction. But the disc looks nice, I guess, and yeah, that's all I really have to say. Just another failed job by BAM Entertainment. And then here's a game that's a little bit better but rather generic. Carmen Sandiego, The Secret of the Stolen Drums. A 3D platformer adventure game that isn't really educational compared to the other Carmen Sandiego titles. And then here's the disc. And interestingly enough, it has a Claims logo on the front instead of just being on the back like the other titles from BAM listed as. And then here's the back of the manual. Nothing much to say there. Very, very generic platformer. And lastly, we're on TDK Mediactive itself, beginning with the Shrek license game from 2002. And this game basically has very little to do with the film, aside from it having Shrek and Princess Fiona in it and the mirror. All the characters in the game are original, and Donkey's not even in it. Oh, and there's burping and farting moves as well, and Shrek runs really fast, and you can't defeat enemies, you can only knock them out and then they come back to life. What does this make up? A pretty terrible game. It's developed by Digital Illusions Canada. So, yeah. That's all I really have to say. And then here is its GameCube version, which is sort of a port, but it sort of isn't. Shrek Extra Large, also from Digital Illusions Canada. And yet they decide to put Donkey on the front, but Donkey is still not even in this game. It's got a slightly different level selection than the Xbox version. It's as bad as that one. I don't recommend it. And then here's their other console game that also was released on the PlayStation 2 and was the only one on there until Shrek 2 came out by Activision. And that was Shrek Super Party, developed by Mass Media and published, by TDK Mediactive. I don't get how TDK was this bad at releasing licensed games. So this one we have chibi versions of Shrek, Donkey, Farquaad, and Princess Fiona in a human form. Here we are, and there's the manual. I originally didn't have the manual with me, but I ended up buying it on eBay a little while ago, and now I have it. Now, last but not least in this video is Casper Spirit Dimensions. So this was developed by Monkey Bar Games, I think it was. But it doesn't list the developer down on the back of the packaging. So this is another PlayStation 2 port. And yeah, it's pretty much the same as the PS2 version. There's no difference at all. And then here's the manual and the disc, and there we are. That's it. There's nothing else to say about it. But anyways, hope you enjoyed that, and for day 23 it will be another mixed batch before we head on to day 24, which will be the last episode I'll be doing. See you later, everyone. Bye for now.